Hello sweet peas, welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on this Thursday video. I feel like it's been a while. How are you? Are you well? I hope you're good. I'm doing well. It's been an interesting few weeks. It's been a bit of this, which coincidentally is kind of why I'm doing the video today, because it's when I was on one of those that I asked you guys if you wanted any help solving your problems, because I thought helping you would help me feel like I have purpose and was being useful instead of just being like a sad slump all the time, and you did not disappoint. So I put on my Instagram, plug, a story that asks you guys for any agony aunt submissions, and I have gotten quite a few. I'm really sorry, and I always feel really bad whenever we do things that require viewer engagement because we can't go through all of them, otherwise this would end up being like a 4-hour long video. But there are tons here that I would love to give my input on, and I do have to just disclaim, I am in no way a professional. I am just doing this for fun with my, I was going to say tiny amount of life experience, but I do think that for someone my age, I have gone through a fair amount. So maybe like mediocre. Like, is Ricky the first one? Rookies are amateurs, aren't they? My intermediate-ary amount of experience. What my opinion is on the ones that you guys have kindly submitted. I will not be using any names because that would just be really, really cruel, but I am so excited to get this done. Right down there, if you just see me looking, it's because the cat is literally like this, licking his area. That's all I'm gonna say. He's just licking his area, and it's adorable and also a little bit weird. Did you have to do that in my view line? Seriously. Okay, let's just get straight into it. Number 1, GCSEs ... Preach. I feel you. I'm not doing my GCSEs at the minute. I am, however, still doing exams. I'm doing postgraduate modules as part of my PhD. I did 13 GCSEs? Technically 13. I did 12 GCSEs, but one of them counted as 2 because IT counted as 2 for some reason. I know the feeling. What would my advice be for GCSEs? Spend your time wisely. Like, you think that it's like overwhelming and huge, and you're right, at this moment in time it really is, but you do have the time to set aside to just do something like 15 minutes to half an hour a day. Just read over your notes, find out the revision technique that works for you, give it a go. You've got this. And you know what? As long as you do your best, that's all that matters. At the end of the day, a GCSE grade is just a number or a letter, and in the grand scheme of things, whilst I do think you should put your effort in, it really isn't the end of the world. It doesn't mean anything. And I know that there's probably a lot of Asian parents out there who are like, what the hell are you saying to my daughter / son / person of birth giving? It is the hard truth. Education is not everything. Some people are really suited for it, in which case go for it. Have the time of your life. Let it be all consuming. But for some people, education isn't it, and that is a-okay. You can find your strengths in other places. That really digressed. I think I'm gonna make a really bad agony aunt. Did that help? I feel like it's weird doing this because I don't know if things are actually helpful. Without someone going, hey, thank you for answering my question, or hey, no, I meant this. Anyway, how to cope with the anxieties of growing up, like having to get a house and a job. It is a really weird feeling, and I'm not gonna lie, it's probably something that I will, when I feel ready to, speak about in another video, but I have huge anxieties over work. I don't know what it is, but I find having a 9-to-5 job in an office really bloody difficult. The key to me is to follow your passion, which I know sounds stupid, but I think we're at such a young age forced into making really big choices that narrow down what we're supposed to be doing in life, but not taking yourself or that process too seriously and just thinking, hey, you know what, I'm gonna take life as it goes and I'm gonna do this right now because it's what I enjoy doing, is probably what my advice would be. And I get it, like, enjoying something doesn't pay the bills, but there is a balance to be struck. You can either go for like a basic job that you don't particularly enjoy that gives you the time and the means to be able to do the things that you do enjoy, or, and this is something that I do regret and I feel like I should have done, found a job that may have paid less initially but done something that I thoroughly did enjoy in that role, and then work your way up. Money isn't everything. So yeah, don't take yourself too seriously. Remember that everyone, even those people who like look as if they've got life done, like, they don't. They really don't. I find it bizarre that some people think that we're proper, fully fledged adults, and yeah, I get it, we own a house, yeah, we run a business and all of this stuff, but we're still kids. We're still stupid. we still run out of loo roll. It's just a learning curve. Every day is a school day. How to get over a breakup. He was my best friend for so long. That sucks. I'm sorry you're going through that. I think my advice for breakups would be to just let yourself have that moment of being sad. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to wallow and drown yourself in ice cream. Not literally, of course, but eat it all. But just as an overview, remember that everything happens for a reason, and if things are meant to work out, then they will, and if they don't, that's because something better is going to come along. Whether that be love for yourself, whether that be finding someone else, it's all going to be fine. But it is a sucky situation. I'm very sorry that's happened. Go and do something that you love, distract yourself a little while, try not to mope about too much, give yourself your time, but then be ready to seize the day and continue life without that extra person, because you don't need no person to complete you. The difficulty of finding love when you are both gay and trans. I'm not going to apologise for this one because I think it's really cool that you're out there and you love yourself and you found your tribes and you know who you are, so yay you. Love will come. Love will come when it's ready, if you want it. You know, don't pressure yourself into thinking that you need it. If you want a relationship, don't think that being gay or trans will hold you back, or even both. I feel like that's a really big thing. Like Jamie's parents, for example, and quite a few people who are around trans people who've just come out are like, oh my god, this is going to hold them back. They're never going to find a partner. They're never going to have a job. They're never going to be happy. It's not the case. I can really say from my own personal knowledge of quite a few trans friends, quite a few gay friends, and also lots of people who are both trans and gay. In fact, all of who are in happy relationships right now. So, you know, like just saying it does happen. It's not something that's going to hold it back. Just be ready to embrace the love, put yourself out there, and it will come. Yay! I feel like this is a really sickening video. If I'm being too, like, cringy and cliche and speaking in the world will find its way, then I'm sorry, it's just what I'm like. I'm not sorry at all, actually, but it is what I'm like, so if you don't like that, you might as well just click off right now. Do you have any tips on how to deal with no time to work whilst in a full-time I imagine that says university degree. I'm in med school and feel it's... Sorry, there's other ones and different ones. Med school. Time to move out, 27 by the way, feel very trapped. Whilst in med school it's impossible to work. We have classes all day and in the night I tried to pick up translation jobs in the internet but just couldn't. Do you have any tips on how to deal with no time to work whilst in full-time university? Right, I have been studying at university for quite a while and I do understand what you're saying. I do also get, however, that medical school is very different. I did a law degree, then a business master's, and now I'm doing a psychology PhD. But during my law degree I had 3 simultaneous part-time jobs at the same time. I was hustling. I needed money. I didn't have money. If I didn't have money, I wouldn't have had a place to live. I was kind of not forced, but essentially forced to be in a position where I wasn't living at home and I had to pay my own way. So it can happen. I know it sucks. I know it's hard. The only difficulty that I'm thinking is with medical school, you have like full day curriculums, whereas in most other disciplines you have sort of lectures dotted throughout the day and more time in between. There are many ways to make money. My head automatically went to camming, which, you know, is a great money maker, though I'm not suggesting is what you should do. Go ahead if you want to. Shut up, Shaaba, why are you talking about camming? You can find a job. If you are working really hard and have classes all the time during the day, then there are tons of night jobs that you can do, mostly in the retail and hospitality section. There are stock jobs, for example, that don't require a lot of people contact if you're not into that, but still available in retail shops. Supermarkets are a fantastic one for flexible hours, especially if you're doing both work, like lectures during the day and sometimes at night, you know, like how it happens in midwifery. They're always really flexible. For a very short while I went through the process and was very, very close to working at Aldi. The only reason I didn't is because, fun fact for you, they have a thing which means you can't work in the same place as your partner. So Jamie was also going for the same role and he ended up getting an option for a store, but I couldn't be in the same store and it just didn't make sense for us to one of us to have to travel to a store so far away. But they were super, super flexible with their hours and rotas change all the time. Same thing goes for like restaurants, you know, like McDonald's and that kind of thing. There are also really cool sites that you can look at that do other like at-home freelance work. Some of them sound really crap and aren't very fruitful, but there are quite a few that you can use that are very good. For example, I used to use Student Gems and I got quite a few freelance jobs for doing things like little bits of design work or little bits of analytics work or little bits minutes of writing and copywriting. So, you know, you can always take a look at things like that. The biggest job that I did with Jamie was cleaning. We did that for, it was at least a year whilst I was in the 3rd year of university. It was not a nice job, I'm not gonna lie, but these jobs happen in holidays, and I'm sure even in the medical discipline you will have holiday time. So if you're willing to sacrifice the time and you really want to make it work, then you can. If this is save up for a house, which I assume it is because that's what your message sort of indicated, then always remember you can half cost by sharing with friends. That's always very useful. I'm talking about sharing things like flats, for example, but also if you're really strapped for cash but really wanted to move out, you could also room share if you found someone that you were close enough to actually share a room with. Best of luck whatever you decide though, and just remember that there is always something out there. And I know that it's stressful, but if it's what you want to do, it's worth it to try. I also just want to add that, like, again, I can't talk about the medical discipline, but for all university degrees, it's actually for all stages of school. At GCSEs, I was just like, oh my god, I'm so stressed. Life could never be more busy than this. Then A-levels happened. It was like, you thought GCSEs were difficult. And then A-levels are just like, oh my god, there is so much more to do. And then university comes and it's like, actually the first year is kind of like more chill, because you're like, why have we been waking up really early and having to do homework and all of this stuff when at university you could just roll out of bed at 2 for a 3 p.m. lecture or whatever. But it's all about time management. So the first half of first year is very chill, and then the rest of university is like, no, this is real. There is so much to do, and it's so much independent work. Masters, oh my god, that's probably the biggest jump in workload that I found between undergrad and masters. That was intense. That was pretty insane. But throughout all of those, if you manage your time correctly, you really do have more time than you think. I wish I utilised that time in undergrad in particular more wisely. There are so many hours that you spend, and I guarantee you, if you get like apps on your phone to show you how much you're watching TV or how much you've been on your phone, you will just realise, or just be conscious about it. Just realise, hey, when I get home, I just spent 2 to 3 hours doing stuff that I didn't really need to do. Or I had a lie-in until 12 o'clock. I mean, I don't do that now, but I used to as a student, when I could have gotten up at 9 and had 3 extra hours to do stuff during the day. You have the time. You can make the time. You've got this. It just depends on how much you want something, but you can make anything happen. Okie dokie. Finding motivation to study. I have none, but I need AAA at A-level. Best of luck. Do you know there's actually like a lot of A-levels and education stuff in here? I didn't realise that was stuff that you're into. If you're into education or revision videos, let me know. I'm happy to do some. Oh, also, friend plug, Unjaded Jade is the most amazing study tuber that I've actually seen ever, and she's just the nicest person to at heart. She's currently on a gap year, but she has loads of videos on things like motivation. I'm gonna pop her link in the description box downstairs, so go and check it out if that's what you're into. What's the perfect way to make a cup of tea? I don't know, because I don't drink tea. I don't drink tea or coffee or alcohol, but from what I hear, in this long-standing debate, milk is supposed to go first, historically, because, hear me out, cups were traditionally made with china, and putting very hot water directly in it would have cracked the cup, hence why milk needs to go in. You can also do tea the desi way, yeah, this is what my mum does, and that is on a hob where you put milk in and then the tea bags and then spices, and it's like apparently really tasty, and people who don't like tea like to drink desi tea, but I still don't like it because I'm just not a tea fan. How to find a balance between uni, social life, a job and committed relationship. Oh my god, when you find out, let me know. Personally, I have all of these things. I'm doing my PhD, I'm making more friends now than I've ever had before, and I find it really difficult to, because time, oh my gosh. I have a full-time job and I'm in a committed relationship. Sometimes something has to give. There's always a matter of balance and priority. I think it's just learning how to change those up a little bit, and also an important thing that was left off there, and I don't know if it's because it's ... because I've not seen it, or because you perhaps haven't written it down, but time for yourself is a really important 5th factor there. You time, baby. But yeah, having a balance and like writing a ranked list and be like, okay, today my uni stuff goes first. Today my job stuff comes first. Today my relationship stuff comes first. And it doesn't have to be on a daily basis. It can be like, okay, this month I'm feeling like I've really neglected my relationship and I need to fix that. So hey, instead of making friends, we're going to avoid those plans and we are just going to have some time to ourselves. that kind of thing. And I know that there are some things that, you know, you can't just put to one side, like having a job. You can't just be like, okay, well, I'm not going to do my job today. But the things around that, you know, that's where you can start to prioritize. You can decide to be really invested in your job when it really needs to be, when you've got huge deadlines coming on, and that's when, for example, your friendships might be compromised or your relationship might be compromised. But yeah, just being aware of all of the needs that you have, realising that you are not selfish and it's okay to say no, and you don't have to be super person all the time. Yeah, you'll get through it. You got this. I believe in you. My crush is straight, but I like her a lot. What do I do? From that, I'm assuming you are not straight and therefore you're worried that they won't reciprocate it because they are not that way inclined, or of that identity. That is a difficult one. I'm sorry that this is happening, but you know what? It's okay. A lot of people will probably think that this is the wrong advice, but I would be inclined, if it's strong and serious and has been going on for a while, I would tell them. I think it's important to just be honest and have that communication. You never know, perhaps they're not straight and you aren't aware and it's something that they'd be willing to explore. But if they are, it can act as a form of closure, and just me personally, I would want to get something like that off of my chest, because I feel like if I didn't, it would just cause an unnecessary tension on a friendship. So that's just my personal opinion. I would probably speak about it and be like, hey, I know this might be a little bit uncomfortable for you, but I just want to let you know that I've developed a few feelings. Maybe that means I have to back off and I'm really sorry, but just wanted to make you aware. I'm sorry if you don't feel the same way. I'm going to work on this, and then take time to get over it. Okay, there seems to be quite a few. Dealing with stress, how to look forward to things getting better, how to feel positive or find positivity in dark times. I am normally a really happy person, and the other thing is I don't really know how to read my body very well. I'll often like realise that I'm stressed because my eczema will go absolutely crazy, and then I'll be like, oh hey, my body's telling me I'm stressed. But recently I've really felt those things that you have just described. I have been feeling upset and down and low, and like I can't just smile and go through it. And there are a few things that I've done to sort of try and release those. The most important thing ever is talking about it. It's getting it right there to the conscious of your mind and speaking about it, whether it be to someone else, to a teddy bear, to your adorable cat who's just lying there looking like a prawn. Oh my god. But seriously, talk to someone about it. Talk to me. Write it in the comments. Let's have a discussion. It's good to get it out there and just realise what it is that's on your mind. The other thing is to try not to dwell on it too much. As I said before, it's fine to have like your low moments, but get up off your ass and make a change about it. If it's something there that you can change, do it. Do it right now. Don't wait. Don't stop. Don't think, oh, next week. No, right now. Stop this video and get on with what you need to get on with, and you know what that is. If it's something that you can't change, however, just try and do something. Be productive. Get yourself out of the funk that you're in. And it doesn't have to be something like, oh, work, or, you know, something that has a productive end goal. When I say productive, I just mean something fun, something active. It may be the last thing that you want to do, but me, for example, I'll go on the TV and I will search for like Just Dance videos, and I will dance along to them, because there's just something, I'm pretty sure it's a scientific endorphin, blah blah blah, but there's just something happy about getting up onto your feet and moving and feeling like, hey, look, I've done something. Move around, get support, be open, and you are gonna be fine. Things are gonna work itself out. Mwah. Do you like hugs? Yes, I like hugs. Do you like hugs? Don't trust a person who doesn't like hugs. Good hug can fix the world. What to do when your mum is being homophobic and it's making you very sad. I am truly sorry that this is happening to you. It happens to a lot of people, and the best advice that I can probably give on this is to remember that they're only doing what they're doing or acting in the way that they're acting because they think it's in your best interests. It may not be, and it's a sucky situation to be in, and I'm talking from experience, but give it time and try not to explode, because that's not going to be helpful to anyone. Find strategic moments where it's good to push back and stand your ground, of course. Don't not be who you are, but try to also put yourself in the other person's shoes. Because when you're trying to make someone understand something, if they're not in a place where they want to listen, shouting at them and being angry at them and insisting that they need to listen to you is not going to make things better. The other thing that I would say, and again, this is going to sound kind of controversial, but lower your expectations. For me and my relationship and my mum, I always wanted her, the end goal, to be her saying, hey, oh my god, I love Jamie. He's the best son-in-law I could ever ask for. I love you. I embrace all of you and all of this, and I just want to be a part of it. For the longest time, that is all I ever wanted her to say, and I realise now that that was a really silly thing for me to want, because it's just not going to happen. And that's okay, because to get to a point where you can be at an acceptance level, where they can say, I love you, and I want to support you, and if this is what you want to do, then fine. I'm confused, but I'm gonna be there for you. That's okay. That's enough. They don't need to be 100% on board with what you're saying, as long as you can get along. So give it time, communicate, and help them learn when it's the right time to do so. And that goes for you as well, when it's the right time for you to do so. Don't put yourself in a position where it's going to make you feel uncomfortable or unsafe. And remember that even if it's not coming from the people who you perhaps really want it from the most, there are always people out there who are supportive and who will be there to lend a helping hand or a listening ear or a shoulder to cry on, even if it's metaphorical. So, you know, like this beautiful community of viewers that we have here, you guys are so lovely. You can make friends, you can go onto forums, you could try maybe local clubs and societies and groups. There are many people who love you, and with time and honesty, things often do get better. Okay, last one, because I feel like this is already such a long video. Right now I'm single, but I feel like my future relationships will end too quickly like my past ones. Help? Sorry, I'm not laughing at you, I'm just laughing at the help and the way I said it, because it sounds like the little kid with the wasabi who goes, help! So, I love prawn dim sum, right? This is going somewhere, follow me. I absolutely adore prawn dim sum, and there are a few dishes in Chinese menus that I really dislike. I don't like any greenery in Chinese shops that is not pak choy, and that's one of the first dishes I've had. I hate star anise, and those were in quite a few of the dishes that I've had. I am not a fan of the fishy stuff like the oyster sauce or the fish sauce, and those were also one of the first few dishes that I've had. If I let those three crappy dishes either one, stop me from trying new dishes, or two, become a self-fulfilling prophecy where I was like, I know I'm not going to like that, I know that is not going to be sustainable, and I'm not going to want that again, then I would have never found prawn dim sum, and I would never have loved it and want to order it every single time that we get Chinese or takeaway. My point is, and that was such a crappy metaphor, you can't let that prawn dim sum get away because you're tainting relationships thinking that they're going to end. Your prawn dim sum is out there. Your prawn dim sum is ready for you, and your prawn dim sum will last, maybe not for eternity, because, you know, like, life is not a fairy tale, but that's okay, a good long amount of time, and will fulfill your life in a way that will make it better. And if you approach every single new potential relationship thinking, well, this isn't going to work, then it's not going to work, because you're not being fully invested in it. So my advice to you will be to let go of the past crap. Every single prawn dim sum is different. Every single person is different. And it wouldn't be fair to them or to you to go into anything without giving it your all and starting from a complete blank state. It's fine to have baggage. It's fine to, maybe not on the first date, but, you know, like, be open about that and say, hey, look, I haven't had great relationships in the past and they've been quite small, and I'm looking for something longer and more committal. And if it's the right person that's going to do that job, that's not going to frighten them away, and that's going to happen. So don't taint it by making it come true because you think it will. Just trust the process, have fun with the process, have a little faith that life knows what it's doing, and your long-standing prawn dim sum will be a great relationship for you. That is it from me today. I'm so sorry if I didn't manage to answer your agony aunt. This was a fun video. I've enjoyed filming it. I feel a little bit like I'm on a high horse and people are going to be like, who the hell are you to talk to me about what prawn dim sum I should be dating? Like, and I get it. I'm not that kind of person. I just did this because it was fun, and I just think opinions are really useful, and thank you for everyone who has put in a submission, because you have made me feel like I have been a little bit of help. I hope it has been helpful for you. If you guys have any other comments, suggestions, if you disagree with what I've said, if you want to add to what I've said to any of our beautiful agony aunt submissions, please do so downstairs. I'm sure they would love to see it. If you enjoyed this video, do consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Let me know if you want any more of these, if you want this to become like a series type thing. And if you do, and you want to have I shouldn't be pointing like that. If you do, and you would like some extra Agony aunt help, follow me on Instagram, because that is where I will be asking for the submissions. On that note, be kind and have a great day. Bye.